July 22. 310 B.C. The Carthaginians defeated Agathocles, who nevertheless carried the war into Africa. 711. Roderick, the last of the Goths, is overthrown by Taric, or Xerxes, upon the Guadalete, in Spain. 1298. Battle of Falkirk. The Scots under Wallace defeated with great slaughter by the English under Edward I. Wallace escaped, but his son had now sunk forever, and the remainder of his life was spent in his native forests, a fugitive. The number of slain in the Scottish army is by some represented as high as 50,000. Guy, Earl of Warwick, the Black Dog of Arden, then a young adventurer for fame, signalized his prowess in the ranks of Edward on this occasion. 1403. Battle of Shrewsbury, in which the forces under Douglas, Percy and Owen Glendower were defeated, and the Earl of Northumberland's son, Henry Hotspur, slain. 1461. Charles VII, King of France, died. He succeeded in driving the English from his kingdom, by the assistance of Joan of Arc. But having restored peace, he relapsed into sensuality, and died of anguish and starvation at the undutiful conduct of his son. 1534. John Frith and Andrew Hewitt burned at Smithfield for heretical opinions relative to the sacrament. Henry VIII King. 1575. Peters and Tervert, two Anabaptists, burned at Smithfield, in presence of an immense crowd of spectators. 1581. Richard Cox, Bishop of Ely, died. He was the chief framer of the liturgy, and translator of the Bible, called the Bishop's Bible, made in the reign of Elizabeth. 1589. Henry III, of France, assassinated. His reign was distracted by the quarrels between the Catholics and Protestants, till he fell a victim to the zeal of a priest named Clement, and the House of Valois became extinct. 1674. Gerbrand van den Eekhout, a Dutch painter, died. He was a pupil of Rembrandt, whom he rivaled in merit and popularity. 1676. Pope Clement X died. He was a Roman, and in disposition mild. 1686. City of Albany Incorporated. 1698. Claude Boyer, a dramatic writer, died at Paris. 1704. Gibraltar Gebel al-Tariq, the mountain of Tariq, where the Saracens landed, taken by the British under Sergio Rook, in whose possession it has ever since continued. 1706. Treaty for the Union of Scotland with England signed. It was ratified by Parliament and Queen Anne, and went into operation May 1, the following year. 1734. Peter King, Chancellor of England, died. He was a grocer and salter in his boyhood, that being the trade of his father. But his genius soared to higher occupations, and he became a student. His abilities were appreciated and rewarded by a succession of high and responsible offices. 1763. John Dalton, an English divine, died. He prepared Milton's Mask of Comus for the stage, sought out the poet's granddaughter, then overwhelmed with age and poverty, and procured her a benefit which produced £120. His works consist of sermons, poems, etc. 1776. The foundation stone of the far-famed observatory on Calton Hill, near Edinburgh, Scotland, was laid. 1779. Battle of Minisink. 1793. The city of Mentz surrendered to the Prussians. 1794. John Benjamin de la Borde, a French writer, guillotined. He was valet to Louis XV, upon whose death he was appointed farmer general. 1802. Action between the United States frigate Constellation, Captain Murray, and 9 Tripolitan gunboats. 4 of them were driven on shore, and the remainder took shelter in Tripoli. 1802. Marie Frances Xavier Bichat, an eminent French physician and author, died, aged 31. 1805. Action off Fayroll, between the British fleet, 11 sail, and the French and Spanish fleets, in which the latter were defeated with the loss of 2 large ships. Captured. 1807. Battle of Novoleski. The advance of the Russians under Prince Bagration defeated a strong body of French chasseurs with great slaughter, taking only 150 prisoners. Bagration rushed on, and near Mohiloff a sanguinary action took place. French lost 4,000. Russians lost 3,000. 1812. Battle of Salamanca, in Spain. The British under Wellington defeated the French under Marmont, who lost an arm. Of the French, 7,000 were taken prisoners, and it was owing to the knight and Clausel's skill and science that the army was saved from destruction. British lost 5,220. 1813. George Shaw died, an eminent English naturalist and writer on zoology, and principal keeper of natural history in the British Museum. 1823. William Bertram, a distinguished American botanist, died, aged 82. His father was the first American who conceived and carried into effect the design of a botanical garden, for the cultivation of American plants as well as exotics. 1826. Joseph Piazzi, a celebrated astronomer, died at Palermo. He made a new catalogue of the stars, consisting of 7,646, and in 1801 discovered an 8th planet, which he named Ceres Ferdinandia. He is the author of several scientific works. 1832. Francis Charles Joseph Bonaparte, Duke of Reichstadt, died, aged 21. He was the only son of Napoleon Bonaparte and Maria Louisa. Is said to have possessed distinguished talents, united with great kindness of disposition, and early gave indications that his ruling passion was military ambition. 1833. William Thompson died at Hickory Hill, Baltimore County, Maryland, aged 112. 1836. Armand Carrel, a French Republican, killed in a duel. He was principal editor of the National of Paris. A monument by David is over his grave. 1839. Ghazni, one of the strongest places in Asia, defended by a garrison of 3,500 Afghans, under a son of the ex-king of Kabul, was taken by the British under General Keane, 500 of the garrison being killed and the rest taken. British loss about 200. 1850. Sarah Margaret Fuller D'Ossoly, a distinguished American authoress, with her husband and child, perished near Fire Island, on their homeward passage to New York. 1852. Excelmans, a noted French general, died at Paris, aged 77. He first gained distinction under Oudinot, in 1799, commanded a part of the cavalry at Waterloo, and was raised to the dignity of Marshal of France. 1854. A new planet was discovered by the astronomer Hind, from the observatory at Regent's Park, London.